So I wrote a brand new book, which is now on Amazon and is available. And in this book, there's a chapter in it where I talk about the fears that men have. And I'd like to start off by reading you a little bit about this because I think it might be useful. This literally is from the book, and the chapter is called Anxiety about Relationships. Here's what I say. Many men entering therapy carry a deep-seated fear of being judged, not just by the therapist, but also by themselves. This self-judgment stems from a belief that others will perceive them in the same critical light. It's not just the fear of being vulnerable in front of the therapist, it's also the fear of exposing parts of themselves they've kept hidden for a long time, for so long, and parts that they're ashamed of. There's often a belief that these personal flaws or struggles will lead the therapist to view them negatively, reinforcing the idea that they're somehow less than or not good enough. Alongside this fear of judgment is the apprehension about facing emotional pain and confronting memories that they've pushed aside for years. Therapy can force men to confront things that they've buried, old wounds, regrets, or difficult thoughts, and the idea of reliving these experiences can feel overwhelming. The fear is not just about the pain of re-experiencing these emotions, but also about the uncertainty of whether they can handle them once they resurface. Part of the reason why I wanted to write this book is I wanted to explain to people that if you're wanting boys and men to speak, one of the things that you're going to have to deal with before you actually get to the material is that you're going to have to deal with the anxiety and the apprehension and the fear that that particular boy or man has around talking about their feelings. And each man will have different reasons, hence why I give multiple reasons. Some are about relationships, some are about reputation, some are about communication. Are they going to be able to say and articulate what it is that they're saying? Some is about imposter syndrome, some is about gamma bias, some is about the fear of wasting time. Each man is going to have their own different reasons as to why they may feel like talking is not going to be a good thing for them. So you have to deal with the fear that that particular boy or man has first before you get to the material. In other words, and of course therapists will understand this, you have to create an environment in which the man knows or the boy understands that they're not going to be judged, that if they share their material, you can handle it. Because there are so many, and I talk about this in the book, there are so many men and boys who do not share their information because they do not believe that the other person can handle it. It's too crazy, it's too mad, it's too heavy, it's too complicated. So if they themselves are struggling with it, how could you possibly, and they are just about managing to handle it, how could you possibly be able to handle it? And so it's really, really important that, especially because I wrote this book really for professionals, but it can apply for anyone. If you're somebody who's trying to get your partner, a boy or a man, or somebody in your family to talk about some of the things that they're struggling with, the first thing that you have to tackle is their fears. What are the fears that they have around not wanting to speak? Because once you've dealt with that, then you can get to the material. And in therapy, as I say in this book, this may mean that instead of going into the material in the first 1, 2, or 3 sessions, you might actually be dealing with the fears. This is why I spent a huge amount of time in this book talking about the contracting, because and the first session, because many people, many men, when they come into therapy, what they will do is that they will test you. They're going to test what you know. They're going to pull the contract apart. Sometimes I've spent 20 minutes to 30 minutes just talking about confidentiality, with a client giving me all sorts of scenarios about, well, could you break confidentiality in this and in this and in that? And so if you're not understanding that, and you think that the man is just going to come in and automatically talk about his feelings because he's agreed to come, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. There are some men, of course, who will do that, but the vast majority will not come from that point of reference. So if you are interested in learning more about this sort of topic, as I say, I wrote a book called Why Should I Talk About My Feelings I'm a Man? How to Get Boys and Men into Therapy, and why they'll actually want to stay. It's on Amazon. Get your copy. I hope you find it useful.